The space between us ***. The apartment was quiet, save for the low hum of the refrigerator and the occasional creak of the old floorboards settling into the night. It was past midnight, and I sat in the living room, the television muted, my phone dark in my lap. I wasn't waiting for her, not exactly. But I wasn't asleep either. When Maya told me she needed space for work, I didn't argue. I didn't ask questions. I just nodded like I understood, like I respected her boundaries. She'd been distant for weeks, buried in her laptop, taking calls in the other room, staying late at the office. I told myself it was just a phase, a project. Stress. That's what love is sometimes, right? Giving space, being patient, not jumping to conclusions. But that night, I heard her voice through the wall. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment with thin walls and thinner silences. I was on the couch, trying to fall asleep to some old sitcom rerun, when I heard her. She must have thought I was asleep. Her voice was low, urgent. Not the tone she used for work calls. Not the one she used with me, either. "I know, but I can't keep doing this," she whispered. "He doesn't suspect anything. He's been sweet. But it's not fair to him. Not anymore." My heart didn't race. It didn't shatter. It just stopped, like it was waiting for permission to feel. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just listened. "I don't know what I want," she said. "But I know I can't keep pretending." There was a pause. Then a man's voice, muffled through the speaker. I couldn't make out the words, but I recognized the tone. Intimate. Familiar. The kind of voice you use when you're alone with someone who knows you too well. I stood up slowly, quietly, and walked to the bedroom door. It was cracked open just enough for me to see her silhouette, sitting on the edge of the bed, her back to me, phone pressed to her ear. Her shoulders were hunched, like she was carrying something too heavy. I didn't push the door open. I didn't say anything. I just walked back to the couch and sat in the dark. That was the moment I knew. The space she needed wasn't for work. It was for someone else. We met 3 years ago at a bookstore. She was flipping through a copy of The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and I made some dumb joke about how the title sounded like every relationship I'd ever had. She laughed. Not politely, really laughed. That was the beginning. We moved in together after a year. She was a graphic designer, working remotely for a startup. I was a high school English teacher, grading essays and trying to write a novel I never finished. We were happy, I thought. Not fireworks every day, but steady. Warm. Like a fireplace you don't notice until you're cold. But sometime last spring, she started changing. Small things at first. She stopped humming in the kitchen. She stopped stealing my socks. Her eyes would drift when I talked, like she was listening to something else. I asked her once if she was okay, and she smiled and said, "Just tired." I believed her. Now I wonder how much of it was a lie. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. She made coffee, kissed my cheek, asked if I wanted eggs. I watched her move around the kitchen like a ghost of herself, and I wanted to scream. Instead, I said, "Sure. Eggs are good." We ate in silence. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I told myself I needed to be sure. But really, I was afraid. Afraid that if I said it out loud, **I heard you**, there would be no going back. So I waited. I watched. I listened. She started taking more walks. Longer showers. She'd smile at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. Once, I saw her typing a message, and then quickly deleting it when I walked into the room. I asked who she was texting. She said, "Just work." I nodded, like I believed her. A week later, I came home early from school. My last class had been canceled, and I thought I'd surprise her. Maybe we could watch a movie, make dinner together, pretend we were still us. But when I opened the door, she was on the phone again. Same voice, same tone. "I miss you too," she said. "I just need a little more time. I promise." I dropped my keys on the counter. She froze. She walked into the living room, phone still in her hand. Her eyes were wide, guilty. "You're home early," she said. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her and asked, "Who is he?" She didn't deny it, didn't try to lie. She just sat down on the couch and put her head in her hands. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean for it to happen." His name was Daniel. A client. They'd started working together in January. Late nights turned into long talks. Talks turned into something else. She said it wasn't physical. Not yet. But it didn't matter. She'd already crossed the line. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. I felt lost. And he made me feel seen. I wanted to be angry, to rage. But all I felt was hollow. I gave you space, I said. I thought you needed time. For work. For you. I never thought it was to make room for someone else. She cried. I didn't. She moved out 2 weeks later. No fight. No begging. Just boxes and silence. She said she needed to figure herself out. That she didn't know who she was anymore. I didn't tell her I still didn't know who we'd become. The apartment feels bigger now. Emptier. I still hear her voice sometimes, echoing through the walls. Not hers really. Just the memory of it. The way it cracked when she said, I'm sorry. I don't know if I forgive her. I don't know if I ever will. But I've stopped waiting for answers. Some things aren't meant to be understood, just survived. I still teach. I still write. The novel's still unfinished. But now, I write for me. Not for her. Not for us. And sometimes late at night, I sit on the couch and listen to the silence. It's not the same. But it's honest. And maybe that's the space I needed all along.